I hid my Omega identity for years just to survive. The alpha who bullied me found out during my heat, claimed me in front of everyone, called me a temptation, and walked away. I didn't chase him. I left the city carrying his child. I learned early that exhaustion has a sound. It's the buzz in my ears when I stack boxes too fast. The click in my knee when I take the stairs two at a time. The shallow breath I pretend is normal because stopping costs money. I'm 21, and I already know how much my body is worth per hour. The convenience store smells like oil, sugar, and cheap cologne. Midnight shift. Again. I pull my hoodie tighter and keep my head down while scanning items, my fingers moving on muscle memory. The man across the counter leans too close. He always does. "You got a girlfriend, kid?" he asks, eyes lingering where they shouldn't. "No," I say. Flat. Polite. Beta neutral. The lie sits on my tongue like chalk. He grins. "Shame. With a face like that, you'd sell well." I don't react. Reacting gives people permission. I learned that when I was 16 and standing in a police station, holding my sister's hand while my brother slept against my shoulder, all three of us waiting to be told our parents weren't coming back. The man reaches over the counter. His fingers brush my wrist. That's when the air changes. Pressure snaps down on the space behind me, heavy, sharp, unmistakable. Alpha. The man freezes, hand mid-reach. "Move," a voice says. "Calm. Cold." I don't turn around. I don't need to. Every university student knows that voice. The man laughs nervously and steps back. "Just joking." I said move. The scent hits then. Not sweet. Not inviting. Clean metal and winter smoke. The kind that makes alphas straighten and everyone else remember their place. The man mutters an apology and leaves without his receipt. I finally turn. Adrian Blackwood stands 3 feet away, hands in his pockets like he owns the floor, the walls, the air between us. University jacket. Watch worth more than my monthly rent. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Face card sharp enough to cut glass. Top-tier alpha. Second richest family in the city. Campus bully. Every warning sign in one body. "Thanks," I say, because my mother raised me right before she died. He studies me like I'm a puzzle missing a piece. His gaze doesn't slide. It doesn't leer. It pins. "You shouldn't work places like this," he says. "I should work wherever pays," I answer. One corner of his mouth twitches. Not a smile. Something closer to surprise. "What's your designation?" he asks. The question is casual. The test isn't. "Beta," I say without blinking. The word lands clean. Practiced. Safe. Something flickers in his eyes, disappointment, maybe. Or relief. He nods once, like he's filing me away. "Be careful," he says, already turning. And then he's gone. I don't realize my hands are shaking until I drop a pack of cigarettes on the floor. By morning, I'm late to class. Again. I sit in the back row, hoodie up, notes half written. My phone buzzes with messages from my sister reminding me to pick up groceries. From my brother asking if I'll be home before dinner. I promise both of them yes. I'm good at lying. When Adrian walks in, the room shifts. Alphas straighten. Omegas quiet. Betas pretend not to notice. He drops into his seat like he belongs there more than the professor does. His gaze finds me instantly. I look away. It doesn't help. From that day on, he's everywhere. Leaning against doorways. Cutting remarks during group discussions. Smirking when professors praise my work. Calling me out for things no one else gets blamed for. "Careful, Beta," he says one afternoon when I answer a question too fast. "Don't strain yourself." Laughter ripples through the room. I keep my face blank. Righteousness is quieter than pride. My parents taught me that too. He doesn't stop. He escalates. Knocks my books out of my hands. Takes my seat. Assigns me grunt work during group projects, then criticizes the results like I failed him personally. I tell myself it doesn't matter. I tell myself I don't care. But every time he looks at me, really looks, it feels like standing too close to a fire I can't afford to touch. The worst part isn't the bullying. It's that he never smells wrong. Alphas always do, to me. Too sharp. Too much. A reminder of something I bury so deep I sometimes forget it exists. Adrian's sense stays controlled. Locked down. Like he's holding himself back with iron discipline. Like he's afraid of what happens if he doesn't. I take another part-time job 2 weeks later. Event staff. One night only. Good pay. Bad idea. The venue is crowded, loud, and full of alphas who think money buys permission. I'm carrying trays when someone blocks my path. Smile, he says. You're prettier when you do. I try to step around him. He moves with me. Then a hand grips my arm. I don't shout. I don't fight. Fighting gets you fired. Before I can calculate my next move, that pressure hits again. Adrian. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't touch the man. He just stands there, alpha presence flooding the space like a warning flare. Let go, he says. The man does. Immediately. I pull my arm free, heart pounding. Adrian looks at me, not like before. Not like a target. Like a problem he doesn't understand. You attract trouble, he says. So do you, I shoot back, before I can stop myself. For a second, the world goes very still. Then he laughs. Short. Sharp. Real. Maybe, he says. But I handle mine. Our eyes lock. Something ugly and electric snaps between us. I look away first. That night, lying in bed between my siblings' rooms, I stare at the ceiling and think about how his voice sounded when he laughed. How his eyes changed when I talked back. How my chest felt too tight for no reason at all. I remind myself of facts. I am a beta. I am poor. I am responsible for 2 lives that are not mine. Whatever Adrian Blackwood wants, it can't include me. And whatever I feel, I will bury it. Like everything else that could ruin us. By the 3rd week, everyone knows. Not officially. No one says it out loud. But patterns have weight, and Adrian Blackwood's attention lands on me too often to be accidental. He doesn't bully loudly. He doesn't need to. His cruelty is precise, curated for an audience that understands power. A look that invites laughter. A comment phrased like concern. A pause that turns silence into judgment. Beta, he says one morning as I pass him in the hall, shoulder brushing mine just enough to jolt. You walk like you're apologizing. I don't stop. And you talk like you need an audience. A few people gasp. Someone laughs nervously. Adrian turns slowly. His eyes sharpen, not angry. Interested. Careful, he murmurs. You'll confuse people into thinking you have teeth. I keep walking. My heart doesn't slow until I reach the stairs. I tell myself it's fine. I've endured worse than words. Hunger. Debt. Nights where the electricity flickered and I pretended it was a game for my siblings. This is nothing. Except it isn't. Because Adrian doesn't let go. In class, he interrupts me when I speak. In group work, he assigns me tasks designed to fail, then critiques them like I've disappointed him personally. In public spaces, he invades my air without touching me, alpha presence pressing just close enough to make my skin prickle. He never uses force. He uses proximity. Why do you try so hard? He asks one afternoon as we wait outside the lecture hall. Betas don't get rewarded for effort. They get overlooked. I'm not trying for rewards, I say. I'm trying to pass. He hums, low. Liar. I glance at him. Excuse me? You're ambitious, he says. You hate being seen as small. My stomach twists. Not because he's wrong, but because he should know. I shrug. Projecting again? That earns me a smile. A real one this time. Slow. Dangerous. You like poking bears, he says. Bad survival instinct. I've survived just fine. So far. At work, I drop a tray. It's stupid. Clumsy. My fault. Coffee splashes across the floor, hot enough to sting my wrist. My manager snaps at me in front of customers. I apologize. Bow my head. Swallow the heat behind my eyes. From the corner of the room, Adrian watches. He doesn't help. He doesn't interfere. He just watches me kneel to clean the mess, my hands shaking, my jaw locked tight enough to ache. Later, as I'm clocking out, he blocks the exit. Embarrassing, he says lightly. You look small down there. I stare at him. Really stare. Is that what you wanted? His brows draw together. Wanted? To see me like that? Something flashes across his face. Gone too fast to name. I don't want anything from you, he says. The lie is sharp enough to cut. I stop avoiding him. Avoidance is weakness. He feeds on it. So I meet his gaze. I answer back. I refuse to flinch when he crowds my space or mocks my clothes or questions my worth in front of others. It changes something. He gets rougher. Not physically. Never that. But the words sharpen. The tests become more deliberate. He challenges my answers in class, forces debates he knows I can win just to watch me do it. You're too smart to be a beta, he says once, voice low enough only I can hear. And you're too obsessed to pretend this is normal, I shoot back. His sense spikes. Just for a second. Clean metal cracks, something hotter underneath. My breath catches before I can stop it. Adrian notices. He steps back like he's been burned. The rest of the day, he avoids me. The relief should feel good. It doesn't. At night, I lie awake listening to my brother's steady breathing through the wall. My sister turns in her sleep, murmuring something about exams. I count money in my head. Rent. Food. Fees. I do not think about Adrian Blackwood. I fail. I think about his eyes when he's angry, not wild, not cruel. Focused. Controlled. Like he's holding something back with both hands. I think about how he helped me twice now, then punished me for it. I think about how he never smells wrong. The realization hits me like ice water. He's not bullying me because he hates me. He's bullying me because he doesn't know what to do with me. The first rumor reaches me a week later. He's obsessed with you. I laugh it off. You're bored. But then another person says it. Then another. Whispers ripple. Eyes linger. Alphas watch me longer than they should. Omegas tilt their heads, curious. Adrian notices. The next time he corners me, his voice is sharp. What are you telling people? Nothing, I say. Maybe they're finally paying attention. Don't, he snaps. Don't encourage it. Encourage what? I ask. You humiliating me? Or people noticing you do? His jaw tightens. You think this is a game? No, I say. I think you're scared. The word lands heavy. He leans in, breath brushing my ear. Of you? No, I whisper back. Of yourself. For a heartbeat, I think he might do something reckless. Instead, he straightens. You don't know anything about me, he says coldly. Remember your place. I watch him walk away, spine straight, shoulders tense. I should feel victorious. I feel hunted. The basketball tournament is announced the next day. Interdepartmental. Competitive. Violent. Adrian captains one team. I sign up for the other without hesitation. When our names are read aloud, his head snaps up. Our eyes meet across the court. He smiles. Not amused. Anticipatory. Something in my chest tightens, instinct screaming a warning I refuse to hear. Whatever this is between us, it's about to stop being contained. And for the first time since I learned how to lie about my scent, I'm afraid my body won't cooperate. The court smells like sweat, rubber, and adrenaline. Too many bodies packed too close, alphas flaring without realizing it, omegas sitting stiff on the bleachers pretending they don't feel it. I roll my shoulders and breathe through my mouth. Control. Always control. Adrian stands at center court, sleeves pushed up, jaws set like this is a war instead of a game. He doesn't look at me until the referee blows the whistle. Then he does. It's not a glare. It's a promise. The ball goes up. I move before I think. I'm fast. Lighter than most of them, lower center of gravity. I slip past defenders who underestimate me, pivot clean, take the shot. The ball kisses the rim and drops. A few people cheer. More stare. Adrian's smile fades. Good. I play like I have nothing to lose, because that's the only way I know how. Every rebound feels like defiance. Every assist feels like spitting in the face of expectation. I hear my name, my actual name, called from the sidelines, and something fierce sparks in my chest. Adrian starts guarding me personally in the second quarter. He's good. Strong. Precise. He crowds my space, breath warm against my ear as he blocks my path. You're enjoying this, he murmurs. I'm winning, I say, slipping past him again. His hand brushes my waist as I move. Not enough to be a foul. Enough to feel. My pulse stutters. The crowd roars. The score tips in our favor. By halftime, sweat slicks my spine, my lungs burn, and something deeper coils tight inside me. A warning hum beneath my skin. I ignore it. I've ignored worse. In the locker room, I splash water on my face and keep my head down. Someone laughs too loudly. Someone else bumps into me and apologizes too quickly. I don't smell wrong. I check anyway. Subtle. Careful. Still clean. Still safe. The third quarter is brutal. Adrian stops playing fair, not illegally, just aggressively. He steals the ball from me twice. Bodies slam. The referee looks the other way. The crowd eats it up. When I trip and go down hard, he's there instantly, hand gripping my wrist to haul me up. His fingers linger. Too long. You okay? He asks, low enough only I can hear. I jerk my hand free. Don't touch me. Something dark flickers across his face. The final buzzer sounds with our team ahead by 3. We win. The court explodes in noise. Teammates clap my back, shout my name. Someone presses a bottle of water into my hand. My legs shake with leftover adrenaline and something else I refuse to name. Adrian doesn't look at me. That's when I should leave. I don't. I head toward the tunnel, sweat cooling on my skin, heart still racing. The hallway is dimmer, quieter. I loosen my collar, needing air. A hand grabs the back of my jersey and yanks. I stumble back into a storage room, the door slamming shut behind us. Adrian. What the hell was that? He snaps. Let go, I say, trying to pull free. You showed off, he says. You wanted attention. I played the game. You humiliated me. I laugh, breathless. You humiliate yourself just fine. His eyes blaze. You think you're special? No, I say. I think you hate that I'm not afraid of you. His grip tightens. Then it happens. Heat doesn't announce itself politely. It doesn't ask permission. It detonates. The scent spills out of me, sweet, rich, unmistakable. Omega. No suppressant can stop it once it starts. My knees buckle. Adrian freezes. What? His breath hitches. His pupils blow wide. No! I shove him. Hard. Get away from me. The door rattles as someone passes outside. Voices drift closer. Alphas. My skin burns. Every nerve lights up. Panic claws my throat. Adrian stares at me like I've turned into something obscene. You're an Omega, he says. Not shocked. Accusatory. I told you I was beta, I gasp, clutching the edge of a shelf to stay upright. Liar. I didn't have a choice. His face twists. Disgust flashes sharp and sudden. You tricked everyone. I protected myself. The voices outside grow louder. My scent leaks under the door. Adrian steps back like he can outrun it. Handle your mess. He leaves. The door opens almost immediately after. Two alphas step in, noses flaring, eyes hungry. There you are, one says softly. I stagger back, terror slicing through the heat. Don't come closer. Hands reach. Then pressure slams into the room so hard it rattles the shelves. Adrian is back. He doesn't hesitate this time. He steps in front of me, shoulders squared, alpha presence erupting unchecked. He's mine, he says. The words hit harder than the scent. The other alphas stiffen. Snarl. Back away. One curses under his breath before they retreat, slamming the door behind them. Silence crashes down. I sag, trembling. Relief and betrayal tangle so tight I can't breathe. Adrian turns to me. His eyes rake over me, scent thick, voice cold. Satisfied? What? I whisper. You wanted this, he says. You wanted an alpha to come running. I wanted help. You wanted attention. That's not. He grips my chin, forces my face up. His touch sears. The bond snaps into place with brutal finality. Claimed. The world tilts. I cry out, not from pleasure, but from the sudden, crushing sense of being owned and discarded in the same breath. Adrian releases me like I disgust him. Don't pretend you didn't know what would happen, he says. Don't act innocent. I can barely stand. You came back. I did my duty, he snaps. That's all. He opens the door. Clean yourself up, he throws over his shoulder. And stay away from me. Then he's gone. I slide down the wall, heat raging, bond burning, heart shattering in slow, ugly pieces. I don't scream. I don't chase him. I press my hand to my mouth and swallow every sound, every tear, every stupid hope I ever had. Because I've survived worse. And I will survive this. Even if it kills something inside me forever. Heat doesn't fade politely. It lingers like a bruise you keep pressing to see if it still hurts. It does. Every time. I don't remember how long I stay on the floor after Adrian leaves. Time blurs into sensation, burning skin, shaking hands, the bond pulsing like a wound that refuses to close. My scent clings to the air, sweet and humiliating, proof of everything I tried to bury. Eventually, I force myself up. Control. Always control. I rinse my face in the sink until the mirror stops swimming. My reflection looks wrong, eyes too bright, lips bitten raw, skin flushed with something I never wanted anyone to see. Omega. The word echoes like a verdict. I leave through a side exit, hoodie pulled low, every step a calculation. The campus feels hostile now. Exposed. Like the ground knows my secret and is waiting to trip me. Whispers follow me. By morning, everyone knows. I skip class. For the first time since my parents died, I choose absence. I send messages to my professors, family emergency, illness, anything that doesn't invite questions. I go straight home, lock the door, and sit on the floor with my back against it. My sister kneels in front of me, worry etched deep between her brows. Eli, you smell different. I flinch. I'm fine, I say too quickly. Just tired. She doesn't believe me. She never does. But she nods anyway, because we've learned how to protect each other with silence. That night, the bond flares again, sharp, accusing. I curl onto my side and press my fist against my chest like I can dig it out. I wait for Adrian. I don't want to. That's the worst part. I wait for him to message. To show up. To say something, anything, that turns what he did into more than a mistake he washed his hands of. He doesn't. When I return to campus 2 days later, the stairs are open. No more pretending. Alphas track me with open interest now, their gaze is heavier, more deliberate. Omegas watch too, some curious, some sympathetic, some sharp with something that looks like competition. You okay? Someone asks too softly. Did you know? Someone else whispers. I keep my head down and walk. Adrian doesn't. He finds me outside the lecture hall, leaning against the wall like he always does, like nothing has changed. His scent hits me first, controlled, distant, locked tight. The bond answers anyway. I hate it. He looks me over, eyes cold, assessing damage. Don't make a scene, he says. I stare at him. Really stare this time. You don't get to say that. His jaw tightens. You exposed yourself. People are talking. You claim me, I say. The words taste bitter. Then you left. A flicker of irritation crosses his face. I stopped other alphas. What more do you want? My chest tightens. An apology. He laughs. Short. Dismissive. For what? You going into heat in public? For blaming me, I snap. For acting like I seduced you. You did, he says flatly. You hid what you were. I hid to survive. That's not my problem. The bond pulses, hot, painful. I step closer despite myself. You came back because you couldn't stand the thought of someone else touching me. His eyes darken. Careful. Say I'm wrong, I challenge. Say you didn't feel it. Silence stretches. Then he leans in, voice low and cruel. You're an Omega. You exist to be wanted. Don't confuse instinct for affection. Something breaks. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just, clean. I step back. Good, I say quietly. Then you won't mind when someone else wants me. His control cracks for half a second. Sense spikes. Anger. Possessiveness. Then he shudders it. Do what you want, he says. Just don't drag my name into it. I watch him walk away, shoulders rigid, spine straight. I don't follow. The attention becomes relentless. Messages. Invitations. Offers wrapped in politeness and hunger. Alphas suddenly eager to help. Omegas offering friendship that feels like courtship. I decline all of it. Not because of Adrian. Because I'm tired. My body feels wrong. Heavy. My appetite shifts. Nausea creeps in during lectures. At first, I blame stress. Lack of sleep. Heat aftermath. Then my period doesn't come. I sit on the edge of the bathtub at 4 a.m, staring at the test like it might lie if I glare hard enough. It doesn't. Positive. My hands shake. Not with fear. With resolve. I don't cry. I press my palm flat against my stomach and breathe through the panic until it steadies into something sharp and usable. A baby. Mine. I tell no one. I start preparing quietly. Extra shifts. Selling things I don't need. Looking up transfer options, housing, anything far enough away that Adrian Blackwood becomes a story I don't have to live near. The bond flares less often now, duller, like it knows it's being ignored. Good. On campus, Adrian watches. I feel it even when I don't look. His gaze sharpens every time someone stands too close. Every time I laugh rare, forced, with someone else. He never says anything. His jealousy leaks through anyway. One afternoon, a female Omega walks me to the bus stop, arm looped through mine, chatting about classes. I'm barely listening when Adrian's presence slams into us. Busy, he says to her. She stiffens. Excuse me? This doesn't concern you. I gently untangle myself from her grip. It doesn't concern you either. His eyes flick to my stomach, then back to my face. Suspicion flickers. You look tired, he says. Congratulations, I reply. You have eyes. The Omega leaves quickly. Adrian steps closer. People are circling you. I noticed. You're encouraging it. No, I say. I'm living. His jaw tightens. You're mine. The word lands wrong. I smile. Cold. You threw that away. For a moment, he looks like he might grab me. Shake me. Say something real. Instead, he straightens. Don't expect me to clean up after your choices, he says. I watch him walk off again. This time, I don't feel anything at all. By the time Adrian's family finds out what he did, I'm already gone. Suitcases packed. Papers filed. My siblings asleep in the next room, trusting me the way they always have. I stand in the dark, one hand on my stomach, and make myself a promise. I will not beg. I will not chase. I will not let my child grow up watching me shrink. Adrian Blackwood made his choice. Now it's my turn. The city doesn't notice when I start erasing myself. That's the advantage of being poor and quiet. You learn early how to disappear without causing inconvenience. I switch shifts. I stop sitting in the same seats. I avoid the places where Adrian's presence lingers like a bruise you keep touching to check if it's still sore. I move my siblings first. Not far. Just enough. A smaller apartment. Cheaper rent. Longer commute for me, shorter for them. I tell them it's temporary. I don't explain the nausea, or why I flinch when someone stands too close. I tell myself I'll explain later. My body changes subtly at first. A tightness in my clothes. A heaviness low in my belly that feels both terrifying and grounding. I learn how to carry it quietly, the way I carry everything else. I still go to class. I still work. I still pretend nothing is wrong. The difference is that now everyone knows exactly what I am. Omega. The word follows me like a shadow. Alphas hold doors open with exaggerated politeness. Omegas smile too long, ask too many questions. I feel evaluated everywhere I go, measured for compatibility, for weakness, for availability. I am no one's opportunity. I make that clear. They don't always listen. You shouldn't be alone so late, an alpha says one evening as I leave work. I shouldn't be lectured, I answer, not breaking stride. He laughs, amused. Feisty. I keep walking. Behind me, someone else steps in. Adrian. I don't slow. Elias, he says, voice sharp. I stop anyway. My body betrays me like that. What? I say without turning. You've been avoiding me. I've been busy. With who? I finally face him. That's not your business. His eyes rake over me, lingering too long on my midsection. Calculation flickers. Are you sick? He asks. No. You look. Don't, I cut in. Don't start pretending you care. His jaw tightens. You're being reckless. I survived without you before, I say. I'll do it again. Something ugly flashes in his eyes. Jealousy, sharp and unfiltered. People are talking, he says. They think you're encouraging them. I laugh. It comes out thin. Encouraging what? Being seen? He steps closer. Too close. My pulse jumps despite myself. You're enjoying this, he accuses. All the attention. I meet his gaze. You're the only one who seems bothered. Silence stretches. The bond tugs, weak but persistent. I don't like sharing, he says finally. The audacity steals my breath. You don't own me, I reply. His sense spikes. I claimed you. And you abandoned me, I say. We're even. I turn and leave him standing there, anger crackling off him like static. The pregnancy becomes impossible to ignore. Morning sickness turns into all-day nausea. My sense of smell sharpens until the world feels hostile. I carry crackers in my pocket and excuses on my tongue. I don't tell my siblings. Not yet. I need a plan before I give them fear. I find it at 3 a.m, scrolling listings with one hand while the other rests on my stomach. A transfer program. Another city. Cheaper tuition. Student housing that allows dependence. It's not perfect. It's possible. I start saving aggressively. I sell my laptop and borrow an old one from the library. I take double shifts. I sleep less. I don't complain. The bond flares one last time, sharp and angry, the night Adrian corners me outside the campus library. You're hiding something, he says. Get out of my way. You think you can just disappear? I know I can. He grabs my wrist. I react without thinking, twist free, step back, one hand instinctively shielding my stomach. His eyes follow the movement. The realization hits him slow. His face drains of color. Elias, he says. For the first time, my name sounds real in his mouth. Are you? No, I say. Flat. Final. You don't get to ask. You should have told me. I laugh, bitter. You should have stayed. For a moment, he looks like he might say something honest. Then his walls slam back up. You're doing this to spite me, he says. I stare at him, stunned by the depth of his denial. I'm doing this to live. He releases me like I burn. Don't expect anything from me, he says. I nod. I never did. The next day, the rumor spreads. Not the pregnancy. The truth about me. That I was never a beta. That I lied. That I deceived people. Some are angry. Some feel betrayed. Most are just curious. The pursuit becomes overt. Flowers left at my locker. Messages from Omegas offering protection. Alphas offering stability, money, safety, like those things don't come with cages. Adrian watches it all unfold. His jealousy sharpens into something volatile. He snaps at people. Picks fights. Loses control in public for the first time. His siblings notice. So do his parents. I hear about it secondhand. Whispers about arguments at the Blackwood estate. About ultimatums. About responsibility. I don't care. I'm too busy packing. On my last night in the city, I sit on the floor between half-filled suitcases while my siblings sleep in the next room. I press my palm to my stomach. Just us, I whisper. That's enough. The bond doesn't answer. Good. By the time Adrian Blackwood decides to take responsibility, there is nothing left of me here to claim. I don't see the fallout. I hear about it. It reaches me in fragments, secondhand, like gossip that doesn't realize it's too late to matter. A classmate messages me, "Did you hear what Blackwood did?" A coworker whispers about shouting matches loud enough to shake marble walls. I'm already halfway gone when Adrian Blackwood finally loses the protection of silence. His parents find out first. Not from him. From his siblings. From doctors. From administrators. From rumors that no amount of money can fully bury. An alpha claiming an omega and abandoning him is not a scandal. An alpha claiming an omega who is hiding to survive and then driving him out is. The Blackwood name does not survive on cruelty. It survives on control. Adrian's father doesn't shout. He never has to. "Bring him back," he says, voice even, dangerous. "And you will take responsibility." His mother doesn't look at him. "You don't get to pretend this didn't happen." His older siblings don't soften it. "You humiliated yourself," one says. "You broke someone weaker than you," another adds. "And you still think this is about pride?" That's when it cracks. Not all at once. Not dramatically. Just enough. The image of me alone in that storage room resurfaces, sweat-slicked, shaking, eyes too stubborn to beg. The way I didn't chase him. The way I walked away every time he offered cruelty instead of truth. Adrian goes to campus the same day. He doesn't text first. He tells himself he's just going to talk. He goes to my lecture hall. I'm not there. He checks my job. They tell him I quit. He goes to the convenience store where we first met. A new employee stares at him blankly. By afternoon, irritation sharpens into unease. By evening, unease turns into something closer to panic. He goes to my old apartment. The door opens to a stranger. "Elias?" the man repeats. "No, he moved out weeks ago." Weeks. The word echoes wrong. Adrian stands in the hallway long after the door shuts, alpha presence flaring without an outlet. For the first time, there's no one watching. No one to impress. No one to intimidate. Just silence. He goes back to campus, frantic now, asking questions he never bothered to ask before. Where would I go? Who did I talk to? What did I want? No one knows. Or they do, and they don't tell him. Good. I'm in a different city when he finally understands. I sit on the edge of a narrow bed in student housing that smells like disinfectant and fresh paint. My siblings argue quietly over whose turn it is to unpack dishes. I listen to them like it's proof I made the right choice. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. I don't answer. It buzzes again. And again. Then a message. Elias. Please. The bond flares. Weak. Desperate. Late. I turn the phone face down. Adrian's family tears into him when he admits he can't find me. You let him vanish, his mother says. Do you understand what that means? His father's voice is colder. If he's pregnant, and you abandon them again. I won't, Adrian snaps. I'll find him. With what right, his sibling asks. You already threw that away. That's when regret stops being theoretical. It's not loud. It doesn't beg forgiveness. It sits heavy in his chest and refuses to move. He replays everything. The way I never asked for help. The way I took blame without defending myself. The way I protected others at my own expense. The way I looked at him after the claim, not broken, just finished. I didn't mean to hurt him, he says. His brother laughs without humor. Intent doesn't erase damage. The search becomes an obsession. Adrian pulls records. Calls favors. Leans on influence for the first time not to dominate, but to locate. He learns things. About my parents. About my siblings. About the jobs I worked to exhaustion. About the transfers I applied for under the radar. Each detail lands like a blow. I was never scheming. I was surviving. And he stood in my way. I feel him looking for me. The bond stirs sometimes, a distant pull like someone calling my name through walls too thick to answer. I don't respond. I focus on practical things. Classes. Childcare lists. Budget spreadsheets. My siblings' laughter when they argue over which room is whose. For the first time in years, the future feels like something I can touch without fear. One night, my phone lights up again. A message, longer this time. I was wrong. I know that now. I don't expect forgiveness. I just need to see you. To know you're safe. I stare at the screen. Then I type back. You lost the right to need anything from me. I block the number. Across the city I left behind, Adrian Blackwood stares at the message, something hollow opening in his chest. For the first time, there's no one else to blame. Only distance. Only consequence. Only the certainty that whatever comes next will have to be earned. And that I am no longer. The bond changes before I do. It doesn't flare anymore. It doesn't ache. It waits. That's how I know something is different. I'm washing dishes when it happens, warm water, cheap soap, my sister humming off-key in the living room. My brother argues with a cartoon on the TV. Normal noise. Safe noise. Then the bond tightens. Not sharp. Not demanding. Present. I dry my hands slowly. Outside, the city is quiet. Smaller than the one I left. Slower. People mind their business here. I chose it on purpose. A knock sounds at the door. My sister looks up. Are we expecting someone? No, I say. My heart doesn't race. That surprises me most. I walk to the door and open it. Adrian Blackwood stands on the other side. He looks wrong. Not disheveled. Not desperate in the obvious way. He's dressed neatly, posture straight, alpha presence leashed so tight it barely leaks. But his eyes, those are different. They don't search the room. They find me and stop. Elias, he says. Just my name. No edge. No command. I don't move aside. You shouldn't be here. I know. He swallows. I won't stay if you tell me to leave. That alone almost knocks the air out of me. Almost. My siblings hover behind me. I step out and close the door carefully, placing myself between Adrian and my life. You found me, I say. Yes. You used money, I guess. I used effort, he corrects quietly. I stopped when you blocked me. I waited until you unblocked the bond. I stiffen. I didn't. You did, he says. 2 weeks ago. Just a little. I remember the night. Exhaustion. Loneliness. My hand on my stomach as I wondered, just for a second, if he'd ever regret it. I look away. You got what you wanted. I'm alive. That's not what I want, he says. I laugh once, short and humorless. You don't get to rewrite yourself now. I'm not trying to. His voice lowers. I'm trying to tell the truth for the first time. Silence stretches. Say it, I tell him. Whatever speech you practiced. He shakes his head. I didn't practice. I don't trust myself with rehearsed words. Then, slowly, deliberately, Adrian Blackwood bends his knees. I freeze. He kneels on the concrete walkway like he belongs there, head bowed, hands open on his thighs. Not submission the way alphas perform it. Responsibility. My breath stutters. I claimed you and abandoned you, he says. I blamed you because it was easier than admitting I wanted you and was afraid of what that made me. People walk past at the end of the street. None of them stop. I don't deserve forgiveness, he continues. I don't deserve you. I know that. My throat burns. I came to tell you I will take responsibility whether you accept me or not. Financially. Legally. Publicly. I will acknowledge our child as mine. I will protect them from my name and from my mistakes. I press my hand to my stomach without thinking. His gaze flickers there, soft, reverent, and then returns to the ground. I'm not asking you to come back, he says. I'm asking what you need. The words hit harder than any apology could. What I need, I repeat. Yes. I think of nights crying silently so my siblings wouldn't hear. Of swallowing heat and shame and fear alone. Of walking away without looking back. I think of the child growing inside me. You don't get control, I say. Ever. I know. You don't get to make decisions for me. I won't. You don't get forgiveness just because you regret it. He nods. I accept that. I study him. The alpha who once towered over me now waits on my answer like it might end him. I need stability, I say. For my siblings. For my child. I can provide that without conditions. I need respect. You have it. I need honesty, I finish. Even when it makes you look weak. His voice roughens. Especially then. I close my eyes. When I open them, I say the truth I didn't expect to survive long enough to admit. I loved you, I say quietly. And you destroyed that version of me. His head bows lower. I know. But I'm not that person anymore, I continue. If you want a place in my life, any place, you start at the bottom. I will, he says immediately. I exhale. Stand up, I tell him. He does. We look at each other, equal ground at last. You don't move in, I add. You don't touch me without permission. You don't speak over me in front of my child. And if you ever shame me again. I won't, he says. I didn't finish. He waits. I will leave, I say. And you will never find us. Something fierce and protective flashes in his eyes. Understood. I open the door. My sister peeks out. Who is he? I glance back at Adrian. My mate, I say after a beat. On probation. Her eyebrows shoot up. Adrian exhales something like a laugh. Inside, my brother peers around the corner. Is he scary? Adrian crouches to his level without being asked. I used to be, he says. I'm working on it. My brother considers this. Okay. Something inside me loosens. Later that night, after explanations and boundaries and careful distance, I lie in bed with one hand on my stomach. The bond settles. Warm. Steady. Not a chain. A choice. Adrian doesn't sleep beside me. He takes the couch without complaint. Before he turns off the light, he pauses. Elias, he says softly. Thank you for letting me try. I don't look at him. Don't thank me, I say. Earn it. In the quiet that follows, for the first time since the storage room, I believe this story doesn't end in loss. It ends in accountability. And this time, I stay.